Greetings and welcome. Welcome back, beautiful souls. You've arrived at the sweet spot. And this is Slow Down Sunday, a sacred pause, a reset, a deep breath for the soul. I'm Dr. Derek Sweet. I'm your host. I've been your partner all week long, as you know, on the journey to love. We've spent the entire week, my friends, just basking in the insights and the influences and all of the revelations that we've gotten all week long about love. From making moves Monday, making love our move, to thinking ourselves as winners in Win It All Wednesday, to trusting our inner voice on Trust Ourselves Thursday, to being able to finish strong on Friday, just using love to get us across the finish line. If you haven't had a chance to listen to this Be Love series, I invite you to just create some time and listen. I'm sure you will be blessed by it. Today's message, though, is part of that Be Love series. And the reminder is very simple today. But because it's Slow Down Sunday here on the Sweet Spot, you know we bump it up a bit and we get cosmic. Not that we are astrophysicists by any stretch of the imagination, but we can all look up. We can all have a sense of what this universe is all about. If I were to put you in a spaceship and launch you into the universe, and you could get to orbit around the Earth, you could get to visit planets, that you could begin to see the vastness of this universe, how huge it is. Have you ever seen pictures of the universe and you recognize how small we are, how infinitesimally small we are? Carl Sagan, the physicist, put it this way: for small creatures such as we, the vastness is bearable only through love. He's reminding us that in a universe that is wide and indifferent, it is only love. It is only our connection that makes our existence meaningful. And I want you to think about that for a minute. If you were to just walk around the universe and you could just visit it, it would be vast. It would be huge. It would be big. The stars, the moons, the planets, everything. But would it have any meaning? Nothing has meaning until we get in touch with the fact that we as human beings have this invisible force called love. There's a particle physicist called Brian Cox, and he had a quote that I loved. The deeper we look into the universe, the more it begins to look like love. Powerful quote. These are physicists, these are scientists, and they are literally looking at the universe and bringing us back to love. That quote tells us that the more we understand about energy and attraction and gravity and emergence and all these terms in science, the more it echoes the unseen but binding force we call love. And the scientists are literally confirming it. Neil deGrasse Tyson, another physicist, said this: we're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. I translate that to mean that love is not separate from science. It is a lived experience, an experience of connection, the same kind of connection that physics reveals between particles, between the stars, and us. And Albert Einstein, of course, perhaps the most famous physicist of all, said that gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. He knew that while gravity explains the stars, it can't quite explain the heart. Yeah. Einstein wrote he had a letter in which he wrote, when we learn to give and receive this universal energy, dear children, he says, we will have harnessed love's true power. Perhaps then we can say love is the most powerful force there is. I'm quoting Albert Einstein, scientist, physicist, genius. When we learn to give and receive this universal energy, dear children, we will have harnessed love's true power. Perhaps then we can say love is the most powerful force there is. So there you have it. The scientists just continue to confirm from astrophysics what the ancients knew all along. You know how the ancients put it? In one line: God is love. Period. Oh man, you see these connections? Love and gravity, two unseen forces that hold everything together, right? One builds the galaxies, that's gravity. The other builds souls, that's love. Like the stars, we burn not out of obligation, but out of a wild joy of giving light. We, like the stars, we give light to each other. That's the love language of the universe, my friends, and it's all connected. You see, the universe isn't cold. It's wired for connection. Gravity pulls, light travels. Think about it. Stars burn out so that other stars could shine. That's not just astrophysics. That's love. That's what we do. We're wired for connection too as humans. We pull on each other as humans. Our light travels too. And we sacrifice for each other. Absolutely. There's a light that shines within. And you know, the ancients kind of got it too, right? You can't mess with these ancients. In the word, it says that the word is what? A lamp unto our feet. Who is the light of the world kind of thing? Oh my goodness. Oh, we're going too deep. But that's what this is all about on Slow Down Sunday. Understanding the power of love and how the universe, the galaxies, the gravity that we take for granted is tied into love. In fact, let's call today the gravity of love. Because when you choose to be love, you're tapping into the most powerful force in the universe. Let me take you on this little cosmic journey. Take a deep breath with me. And then let it out slowly. Because for some of us, this is the only deep breath we're going to be taking for the next 24 hours. And remember, we said that when you take these deep breaths, you're connecting to the universe, but you're also showing love for yourself. So you took that deep breath, and I want to take you on this little cosmic journey. So here's the story I'm going to tell you. It's a story of creation. I'm going to tell you the story from a scientific perspective. Understand, though, that the divine is always under the science. Billions of years ago, in the heart of a massive star, unimaginable pressure was building, and heat began to rise, and they came together to cook up the basic ingredients of life: carbon, iron, oxygen. The very elements that make you, you, and make me, me. Carbon, iron, oxygen. Can't live without them. Then that star from billions of years ago exploded in a massive burst of light, a massive amount of power, a supernova. That explosion scattered its elements across the galaxy like seeds. Just imagine that explosion, the biggest bang you could think of. And that explosion, scattering these elements across the galaxy like seeds, allowed the stardust from the explosion to drift with all the elements in it. And then clouds moved in. Clouds of gas began to mix with the light. And over time, new stars began to form out of these elements. New planets began to form. And eventually, life. So hear me clearly. The iron in your blood, from an astrophysics perspective, came from a dying star. The oxygen in your lungs, forged in the fire, carried in time, and breathed into existence. And the very calcium in our bones, oh, that's just stardust refined. You are not a stranger to the universe, my friend. You are the universe. Waking up, breathing, learning, and walking and talking, you're not in the universe. The universe is in you. Yeah. You are the universe, waking up, breathing, and learning how to love. That's what you're doing. What if that's what this is all about? That the universe makes sense of itself through us. Because look, it's just sitting there with these planets and this oxygen and stuff. You know what it has? You know what gives it meaning? When we love each other, when we connect with each other. That may be the only way the universe gets to know itself. Let that sink in. Think about your role in the universe. Even though you and I are just tiny specks, maybe not even that, less than a speck, when you think of the vast universe, still, the only way the universe makes sense, or even knows it exists, is when you and I talk about it, like we're talking now, when you and I share love. Is it possible that the universe animates itself through us, that we give it meaning? And just like gravity holds the stars and the planets in perfect motion, so does love hold us in a way, doesn't it? Isn't love a kind of gravity? A kind of gravity of the soul, invisible, unshakable, consistent, holding us down, keeping us steady, something we rely on to keep our worlds together. You can't see it, but it's shaping everything. Carl Sagan, the astrophysicist that I mentioned earlier, had another quote. Somewhere, he said, something incredible is waiting to be known. That's how scientists think, that there's always something to discover. There's always something to find. And you know what I believe? Sometimes that something that these scientists are talking about is the love already within you. And it's no wonder the ancient wisdom puts it this way. Greater is that which is in you, bong bong, than that which is in the world. Greater is the force that's in you than anything that's out there in the world. Greater is the God within you than any other force in the world. I think that just makes me want to take a moment and let it sink in. Yeah, here's something wild too, right? That I'm thinking in astrophysics. We've talked about this before. Silence isn't nothing. Silence is very powerful. Stillness, silence, surrender. All of these concepts that we've talked about every Sunday on the sweet spot, like we always do this on Sundays. We find ourselves into this astrophysics place, which we know we're not scientists, but we just love learning from the universe. Yeah, in astrophysics, silence isn't nothing, it's potential. The quieter the universe becomes, the more it expands. Everything that's really powerful, we've said this before, when it's really powerful, it's super silent, right? The trees, how they grow quietly, the grass growing quietly, the sun rising and setting quietly, the moon shifting in its orbits quietly. So much happening, the seasons changing quietly. The universe expands in quiet and silence. And that's true for us too. Stillness is not the absence of motion. It's actually the birthplace of transformation. And the ancients always were like, they were so ahead of us when they said, be still and know I'm God. Be still and know. Be still. Stillness is not the absence of motion. Sometimes the fastest way to get revelation, the fastest way to get back in touch with yourself, the fastest way to recover from a challenge is to do nothing but be still. Stillness, the birthplace of transformation. Stillness, the place where you find your truest self. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? Do you have that patience to wait for the mud to settle, for the water to clear, to remain still, unmoving, until the right action arises by itself, until you know what the choice is? Tao Te Ching, that's an Eastern perspective that mirrors the be still and know that I'm God perspective. This is all over the world. And when you get still, my friend, you return to what's real. That's why Slow Down Sunday is so important. You return to love. Chance, the rapper, said it in that song, Blessings. Here's the lyric. I speak of promised lands, soil as soft as mama's hands, running water standing still, love's the warmest color. Think about that. Love's the warmest color. That's a whole sermon from Chance. Love's the warmest color on the spectrum of human emotion and cosmic truth, isn't it? It's got to be. And Babyface once sang, I love Babyface too, one of my favorite singers. Every time I close my eyes, I thank the Lord that I've got you. Every time I close my eyes, I thank the Lord that I've got you. Hey, whether you're singing that to someone else today or finally singing it to yourself, that's what love sounds like when it feels like home. Echoed in the ancient wisdom, because 1 John 4:16 tells us God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God is in them. What more do you need? You're good. You've got a power bigger than any other power in the world working alongside you. There's a saying, if you knew, and Wayne Dyer said this. He was a philosopher that walked this earth. He passed away. But he said, if you knew who stood beside you as you went out into the world, as you had to perform, you would never experience fear again. I think he was speaking about God and God's love, because perfect love casts out fear, because God is love and God is the ultimate power. When you are walking with the Most High and that Most High divine energy is in you, oh my goodness, you recognize that you're unstoppable. And Rumi, the poet, put it this way: love is the bridge between you and everything. Let that hit different today. Let that hit you. That love is the bridge between you and everything. There's something that's not working? Think about how love can help you. You're not getting along with somebody? Think about how love might be the answer. You're feeling a little scared to do something? Think about loving yourself through it. Think about saying, I get to do this, as opposed to, man, I got to do this, or I have to do this. Think about love and its capacity to take a little meal, and with some gratitude and love, it becomes a feast. How can love change your mind today? Let that hit different. Let it hit you. You're not chasing connection. You are connection. When you love the one you're with, You're never alone and you're never lonely. So today, my friends, on Slow Down Sunday, I want you to feel the cosmic gravity of it all. Breathe in the universe and breathe out the stress. Breathe in love, breathe out forgiveness. You don't need to earn what you already are, my friend. You're not random, you're not alone, and you're not unloved. You are written in starlight and wrapped in grace, fearfully and wonderfully made. And when you choose to be loved, oh my word, you are more than a conqueror. You're more than able to handle whatever you're dealing with. You're able to withstand life's biggest challenges. You don't need to orbit someone else's approval. You are the center of something divine. You plus God, more than enough. You don't need to orbit somebody else's life or approval. You don't need them to make you whole. Another deep breath as we close. And let it out slowly. This might be the only deep breath you take today. So come on now, let's do it. Let's get that deep breath in. I'm challenging you, doctor's orders. Take the deep breath. Don't deny yourself. And then let it out. And here's your affirmation. I am made of divine light and ancient love. The breath in my lungs is proof that I am chosen. I am not searching for love. I am its living expression. I carry the wisdom of the stars and the grace of the Creator in me. Stillness strengthens me. Silence reveals me. I release the chase and I receive the blessing. I'm grounded in God, guided by love, and expanding in my purpose. Today, I'm walking in the confidence that love conquers all. Today, I am more than a conqueror. Man, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing this. I'm proud of you for walking in love. Thank you for slowing down with me, my friends. Let the stars remind you of your origin. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're a miracle, walking or sitting, if that's where you are, or laying in the bed, wherever you are, you're a miracle. Let your breath remind you that you're right here, right now, in this moment. Let love remind you of your purpose. You mean something to me. You matter to me. I'm so glad you're listening. I'm so glad you're here. I feel a connection across the cosmic universe with you today. We are one body. We are one spirit. You're not floating through space here. You are woven into it. Stardust, steady, sacred. Be still, be light, and until I meet you tomorrow for Making Moves Monday, I want you to be love. This is Dr. Derek Sweet. Thank you for joining me on this amazing series we did called Be Love. Please be sure to share this series with anyone that you think might enjoy it or maybe needs it. And more than that, pour some of that love back onto you. Love and blessings.